Well met, well met. Hey, what's going on? It's Tech Maki, and this is my Vision series for Rikku. Hey, what's going on, guys? And I guess it's time to get back into these Vision series. It's about that time. So, we're going to talk about Rikku. Of course, we're going to hit into her history real quick, and she's got an interesting little tale. I'm not going to go through the entire game of Final Fantasy 11 or Final Fantasy 10, but she is a pretty significant character, especially when you roll over into Final Fantasy 10 too. But either way, Rikku is a 15-year-old Albed. That is the race that she falls under. Albeds, they're big into machines, Machina, whichever you want to call it, and her history's not all that good. When it comes to her family-wise, she did have a death in the family when she was younger. Her mother got killed by a rampaging Machina, and she has a deathly fear of thunder. That stems back to her being attacked by a fiend way back when, and her brother tried to protect her by casting thunder. Really good idea. Probably the fiend was weak to it, who knows? But he really sucked at aiming the spell and hit her instead of the fiend. Still, I guess, had the significant effect of maybe scaring off the fiend, but she doesn't like thunder now. Either way, I'm not going to go through the entire history, like I said, but Rikku does meet Tidus, the main protagonist of Final Fantasy X, along with Yuna, and she also happens to be Yuna's cousin, making Yuna half Albert. But we'll touch more on Yuna when we get her in the game. Anyway, so she runs into Tidus when he's ambushed by a fiend. They rescue him, but the troop that she's with, her companions, the other Albed salvage people, they think that Tidus is a human or a fiend disguised as a human, and she ends up convincing them not to kill him, but she knocks him out and then somehow gets him to help them go to the underwater ruins, and there's an underwater facility there that they are trying to salvage so that they can get a sunken airship. Either way, that's going off pretty well until they're attacked by Sin, and then they kind of split ways. They do end up meeting up again later on after some time passes in the game, and she ends up trying to go incognito to join the troop as Yuna's guardian, while also trying to convince Yuna not to go through with her pilgrimage, because she knows what Yuna's fate is. Not going to discuss that here again, but either way, her character is very interesting, and she plays a pretty significant role as a member of YRP in Final Fantasy 13 too. Don't know if I should cover that too much, but who knows, maybe we'll... Never mind, we're not even going to go into that. But anyway, that's for the most part Rikku's history as she makes her appearance in Final Fantasy X. And like I said, she continues to be a very intricate character in there, especially the way they discuss, or they kind of touch on racism in that game. Her being an Albed, she does get discriminated against by the followers of Yevon, and this does prohibit her from entering certain temples, even though she was a guardian for Yuna. Many of them don't think that an Albed can be a guardian, and it's kind of a rough time for her, but she usually tries to stay optimistic, and she kind of idolizes Lulu. So she's, like I said, she's a really cool character. Alright, so Rikku comes into the game as a 4-star base character. She is available in the banners still, currently, which is not an active bonus. Or maybe she is when you watch this video. Who knows? Either way, she comes in as a 4-star base. She was available during the Final Fantasy 13 banner way back when with Wakka and Tidus. She does go up to 5-star. She goes up to a 6-star if you have the required match for that. Very, very good character. She comes in the game as called a Guardian, or that's her job class, a Guardian. It reminds us of the role she played during Final Fantasy 13 as Yuna's Guardian, and she is in the support role. She does this very, very well. Her best stats are MP and attack. Don't worry about that attack thing though. MP is that's what you want to focus on if you're going for her thing. Of course, the build wise, that's not really what you're focused. Doesn't matter what I'm saying. Just remember, those are her stats that are best naturally. Anyway, next up we have her abilities. Now her abilities, like I said, I normally cover the most relevant, most useful ability she has, but some people might not think of these things as useful, but because of the fact that she can cover so many different mission requirements, because of elemental skills, she can fill the role of doing the support thing. I do think it's worth mentioning these skills. So we have Burning Soul. Now, it doesn't do a lot of damage, but it is a fire physical attack to one enemy. Again, this can help you complete a mission requirement without having to bring somebody special for it. If you already have Rikku in your team, you can just use her. Then you have Albed Potion. It is a heal to all allies, 1k plus HP. You know, modifiers, love them. Cure Poison and Silence. Cure or Poison, Silence, and Petrify. Very nice skill. The Silence and Petrify, I think, is the best part of it. Some people don't have the ability, like, they can cure everything but Petrify. You know, it's kind of like an Asuna without, you know, the Stona. So, good skill right here. Then we have Tidal Wave, another elemental ability. So if you need to cover one of the other, you know, elements during a mission, or you just want to help build a chain up or something, you can get that in if you have dual wield on her or something. Then we have Synthesis. Now, Synthesis is a pretty cool skill because it does nothing but enable access to 3 more skills. So it's a preparatory thing. You need to plan this one in advance, or, you know, have a rotation during fights in order to make sure you slide your Synthesis in so you can use some of these skills. And we'll talk about these skills after we get down the list, but the ones that it enables, of course, Sunburst, Hazardous Shell, Hyper Null All. The skill Synthesis, the access to these other ones, lasts for 3 turns. Then we have Winter Storm. It's an ice physical attack, so now we have that element that's covered. Next up we have Lightning Rod, another element that she can cover, and she is, of course, deathly scared of. And then we have Mega Phoenix, and I think it's one of her best native skills she can have, or she has. It's a full revive, all allies, full health. It is awesome. It's a little expensive on the MP cost, but it is a beautiful, beautiful skill. Then we have Lucky Girl. This is a passive skill she has. It's a chance to evade physical damage by 20%, plus decrease the chance of being targeted by 30%. So, good stuff for the arena, and good stuff for regular fights where you're just trying. You want to make sure that Rikku can survive so she can keep everybody up. Then we have Drive Boost, another passive. Yeah, another passive. Increase LB gauge, fill rate by 100%. I think it's a passive. Anyway, then you have Sunburst. Sunburst is fixed damage to all enemies by 20k. 20k damage. That's exactly what it's going to hit. 20k every time, unless there's a modifier on the damage. Then you have Hazardous Shell, which is the physical damage to all enemies, inflicts 2 random status ailments. And this, like I said, these are part of the sets that you would be using when you activate Synthesis. So you have Sunburst, Hazardous Shell, and then Hyper Null All, another one of her great abilities. Increase resistance to all elements by 40%. A little weaker than Love You All from Marie, however you want to say the damn thing. And then, of course, decrease damage taken by 30%, lasts for 3 turns. Awesome skill. Now we look at her Limit Burst. Now her Limit Burst is, again, one of the best things about her. It kind of goes on with Mega Phoenix, you know, one of her best native skills. Her Limit Burst is what everybody clamors for. You want this Limit Burst. You want this character for this. Her Limit Burst is Hyper Mighty G. Love it. And it's an increased defense spirit by 50% if it's a base level, 74% if max level, and applies an auto revive, 80% health, lasts for 3 turns. This is amazing. Now, if you have her set up so you can do this almost every turn, people won't die. For the most part, there are some fights where that's not going to happen. But very, very nice Limit Burst. It's probably one of the better Limit Bursts in the game, or bursts in the game. Now we can look at her Trust Master reward. Some people might think this isn't all that important, but it is a very, very nice Trust Master. It is Riku's Pouch, 8-star accessory. So farm it up, stick it on her, and she will be good to go. Defense plus 3, meh, but you have enabled access to Chaos Grenade, Panacea, and Eccentric. Now, these are really, really good skills. So, Chaos Grenade is a physical damage to all enemies, inflict random status, so it's kind of like the other skill she has, but it also does a full break, 30%, kind of weak, but it's nice to have all of this tacked onto the same thing. Then you have Panacea, cures all status ailments for all allies, awesome. So you have a full Isunga thing. And then you have Eccentric, which is increased LB gauge fill rate for 5 turns to all allies by 200%. Another great skill. You can use this if you are trying to get, if you have other people in the team that you want to get their Limit Burst up really quick, or you just want to get Riku's Limit Burst up really quick. Maybe you haven't had any Maybe you're about to go ham and you want to generate some LB crystals. Anyway, then we can look at the last thing. Here's her Esper. Now for her Esper, I think there's really only one Esper for her. Lakshmi. Lakshmi is probably the best bet I think you can put on her in case you want to get some backup healing for her. I mean, you could slide on if you really wanted to. You could put the newest Esper on there. What is it? Tetrasilphid. But I think Lakshmi is definitely the or Lakshmi. Either way, Lakshmi. However you say this shit. Best one for it. It has gives her access to a multitude of other skills to help increase resistances, MP regeneration. I think it has even target down or something. So it's good. It's good for her. It's very good Esper. It's probably the perfect Esper for her. So yeah, that's what you stick on her. Alright, so now we're going to go into the last thing. It is her builds. Each one of the builds, if I'm not mistaken, uses Lakshmi. So the Esper, of course, is just going to be above my head. If it changes, it changes. Whatever. Anyway, so we're going to do the first low-end build. That is going to be called Spear as Outcast. Now this is a pretty interesting build if you want to use some of that dual wield goodness, but you don't necessarily have to. You can actually the stats will change slightly, but you can easily use this without having dual wield and just slap another TM or skill or something, whatever it is that you have access to. I don't know what you got, but you can slap that in for the dual wield and just use overdrive on her. That's actually what I do in my build. But like I said, you can do whatever you want in this case, but you're going to be using the Zwell Crossblade, Override, which was only available during the FF13 event. Maybe that'll return someday, or get a revamp and they get that back. Assassin's Vest, Black Bandana, Vitality Apparatus, Muscle Belt, and like I say, Dual Wield, Mog Rise, Mog Wisdom, and Vengeful Wrath. Now some of those are TMs down there. So if you don't have access to them, that's fine. But I think during the event where the Mog was available, they were Moogle, so you can go ahead and you could have got the TM pretty quick that way. Either way, total stats is going to come at 6,600 HP, 243 MP. Attack is 325. Not really all that important, but you could use her if you're just starting off to do some damage. Help you push through the story. Defense is 220. Magic 1. Those are kind of irrelevant, but she does have the natural physical evasion of 35%, so pretty cool. And then all her base stats or base resistance all 0 right there. And then with full pots, you're seeing at 7,433 HP, 333 MP, 361 attack, 250 defense. Evasion stays the same, but this is a pretty good, pretty strong, pretty beefy tanked up support character you can have on your team right there. With additional evasion with this Zwell Crossblade. That's kind of why that's there. But this is a very nice setup for a new character or a newer player if you have access to dual wield. If you don't, you can just slap on her Override. And if you don't have Override, well, can't help you there. But very good low-end build. Now moving into the first high-end build, we have Albed's Miracle. This one is you're going to be using survival edges. Some people might have issues with that because you probably have them on your tank or something. Put it on Rikku. She needs more HP. You know what I'm saying? Hook her up. But either way, survival edges, Override, Black Cowl, Assassin's Vest, Prodigy's Goggles, Mystic Skull, Dual Wield, Ignorance. This is an insane build to get all of that LB generation. If you need to cast her Limit Burst every turn, you can do it with this. This is the setup. You know what I'm saying? Either way, you have HP at 4653. Like I said, you want to get a little HP in there. That's what the survival edges are for. She's not gonna hit that 5,000 cap right there, but at least with max pot she will. Attack is 300, whatever. Defense 233, Spirit 246. Good stuff. Still, your evasion drops down a little. You have 30% physical evasion, but it's all good. And then with maximum pots, you have 5,208 or 238 HP, 309 MP, 263, 276. Defense, spirit, respectively. Very, very good build for just popping out freaking LBs. And if you really wanted to, you could take off the survival edges. It's going to drop her HP down a little bit, but you could take the dual wield off, put on another ignorance. That's 4 ignorances at the same time. Anyway. Then we have our next build. It's going to be called the Summoner's Guardian, you know, because she was Guardian. This one, this one does have Odin, as you can see above me. It's a little different. This was my play build for damage. Just in case you want to see what she would look like at maximum damage using Aeon's Fist, or Aeon, however you want to say this thing. Override, Black Cowl, Crimson Slayer, Double Champion belts, Dual Wield, martial arts mastery. Actually, now that I think about it, I just think I realized something else. Anyway, it doesn't really matter. And Dual Wield, martial arts mastery, double wisdom. You got 5,719 HP. 838 attack. Like I said, it's not the strongest, but you can definitely set her up to do some damage. You can help out, right? 20% physical evasion. Crit, I think everybody has a base crit of 10%. And then defense is 355 with those double champion belts on there. She's not weak, but she's not top tier, you know what I'm saying, when it comes to damage. So you really don't want to set her up for this. But if you want to play with her, if you just want to do some stuff, man, Blade blitz the crap out of somebody. And then with max pot, you have 6,439 HP, 297 MP, 397 defense. She's sitting there. She's looking tanky. 928 attack. It's not bad. It's not bad at all. But you know, it's definitely not the 1K club. But it's whatever. And then you have your Spirit 202. Kind of low. What can you do? Now we look at our final build. It's going to be for the arena. If you want to take her in there, you're putting Lakshmi back on. Survival Edges, Override, Black Cowl, Assassin's Vest, 20-sided die, Riku's Pouch, Dual Wield, Quick Assault, Discernment. Now, she is completely protected from all status ailments, and she has 7% evasion. And she's sitting at 385 attack. And I don't know if that's all the really important thing. It's really about that Riku's Pouch, having that on her, and then having the 70% evasion. She could probably hit the 100% cap if you switch a couple things out, but I think this is better off, you know. At least you give people a fighting chance, and you're going to just be using your Chaos Grenade anyway, so it really doesn't matter. Anyway, with maximum pots, after you have the 4,653 HP, you know, and all that other stuff, max pots, you're also sitting at this, critical is at 30% now. You have 5,238 MP, or I'm sorry, HP, a little low, but she can definitely survive some stuff. 309 MP, in case, you know, whatever. 439 attack. Still, you can do some damage with her in the arena because, you know, damage works a little bit different. And then defense is 248, spear 258. She can take some damage, but she's going to be pretty squishy. You need to get those chaos grenades out there and blowing up on people. Yeah. Alright, so overall, Rikku is probably one of the best characters in Final Fantasy Brave Exvius. If you don't have her, I'm sorry for you. If you do have her, make sure you're using her and treating her with the utmost respect. She is a very valuable member of the team, and she will definitely help you get through a bunch of content. Anyway, if you liked the video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Like I said, I'm back to doing some videos. I'm going to try to knock them out a little quicker. I was trying to get a handle on using Adobe After Effects, so things have slowed down for me a little bit, but we should be back. I'll have another Vision series soon enough, and more of the FFBE for dummies. Anyway, thanks for watching the video, guys. If you like Rikku, or if you have Rikku, or if you have an alternate build, go ahead and put it in the comment section down below. We can have a discussion about, you know, setups. I'll see you guys next time for the next Vision series episode. Thanks for being here, guys. Much love. Deuces.